So they say the most disrespectful thing you can do on the football field is spit on another man. Jamar Chase, Jalen Ramsey, Spitgate, punch, suspension, Doug Flutie, Milt, Stegall, go.
They just grew up different from me. It never entered my mind. Besides never entered my mind to drop a football before crossing the goal line, it definitely never entered my mind to spit on somebody. I'm too busy. I mean, I've been angry. I've been mad. I took a bad 50-yard penalty against Edmonton once, and I knew exactly what I was doing because I was so pissed off and I didn't like this one player, and the game was pretty much over. But I never thought of spitting on someone. I don't get it. There's a lot of things I don't get, and yeah, I'm old and I'm set in my ways, but it's too hard to win at football to do stupid stuff on the football field.
Well. Could the run in Kansas City be over? Is the Reed, Mahomes, Kelsey era coming to an end? Is that a hot take or is it legit? Welcome to Week 12 in the National Football League. It's Flutie versus Stegall, your weekly NFL picks and analysis show. That is Doug Flutie beside a chalkboard. We'll get to that in a moment. Here's Milt Stegall. Every week the fellas drop their top picks, and overall they are crushing it against the spread. We on this show talk about NFL storylines. The guys share their own locker room stories. On the picks front, Milt is 20-10 on the season. Doug is 17-13. I'm your host, Arash Madani. Like and subscribe on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple. We thank you for making Flutie versus Stegall one of North America's fastest growing podcasts. And as always, we are powered by BODOG. Doug, it is fitting that you have the coach's chalkboard behind you because I have news. Doug Flutie wins head-to-head against Milt Stegall in Week 11. Doug went 2-1. Stegall 1-2.
He was busy this week. He had to do Grey Cup. He was running all across Canada. So it was. He's forgiven this week for having for Bill because it's not going to happen very often.
Doug, don't try to soften me up. Don't try to do it, Doug. I know how you work.
Just get open and catch the ball, Milt.
There we go.
Okay, so Doug, one of your picks, you took Dallas begrudgingly. You even threw out an OMG. I mean, there was no reason to be worried. The Cowboys cover 3.5 handily. If you're watching on YouTube, you're seeing it. If you're listening on Apple and Spotify, Doug Flutie has a chalkboard behind him. And he has drawn up a play, which at the bottom says, throw the ball to 85. What do you got, Flutie?
Well, we got Milt out here at Z running a post. We got this play is a great quarter speeder. Post, scissors route on the strong side with the tight end running the corner route, backside in. We out in San Diego, I used to call it all the time, and I call it 2-minute all the time. So Drew Brees said, screw it, we're calling the play Flutie. So he started calling the play Flutie. And then he took it over to New Orleans, and a bunch of coaches took it with them. Like a bunch of teams in the NFL still call this play Flutie. It's great. But I got my speed guy 85 out here. So if the tight end get deep enough to occupy the safety, make the safety jump the corner out, we got a post. And our only fear is sometimes the backside corner chasing to try to get to the post. But he's not going to get there on Mill.
I love it. I love it, baby. I love it.
Got ball at 85.
And what brought Flutie magic with this play? What was it about it, Doug, that you loved?
I love the fact that no matter what the coverage, I had somewhere to go with the ball. Yep. Front side was a great quarters beater. Backside was a good cover 2 beater. Cover 3, you usually end up having one of the check downs. Yep. Man coverage, you got 2 great man routes, a corner route and an in route. So I knew like the back of my hand where I was going with the ball no matter what the coverage. And it was a good long yardage call as well. Like you could force it in up the field if you had to. So I don't know. It's just one of those. And see, back in when we designed plays, you had these universal plays that beat every coverage. And then you had to read coverage to go somewhere with the ball. Now these kids are used to getting in the right play for the right coverage all the time. So their first read is usually the guy. And, with all the check with me stuff they do. So we needed to find some universal plays that could beat every coverage.
So over the years in Super Bowls, Andy Reid is called Corn Dog. He's called Tom and Jerry. He hasn't called Flutie yet.
He needs to be calling Flutie now.
I was wondering, let's get to this, Milt. Let's get to this week. I mean, I want to start with you. Casey's 5-5. They go into Denver and lose a game Sean Payton afterwards admitted was probably a must-win, high-pressure game for KC. If the playoffs were to start today, Patrick Mahomes and company would not be playing in January. And now coming to Arrowhead on Sunday, it's the 8-2 Indianapolis Colts. Milt, you like KC not just to win, but to cover by a field goal.
Yes. I think they pulled this one out for all the reasons you talked about. They're on the verge of not making the playoffs. They lose this game. They go to 5-6. They're not making the playoffs. And they haven't played the way they've played in past years. But don't get it twisted. Patrick Mahomes is still Patrick Mahomes. He's going to find a way. And Daniel Jones is still Daniel Jones. So the Chiefs will win this game because they like I just alluded to, 5-6, they're not making the playoffs. It's going to be tough at 5-5. I saw a stat where since the Super Bowl era, 989 teams have started their season 5-5. Only 89 has made the playoffs. So their chances are still slim, but they slid to 5-6. They're not making the playoffs, and that's not going to happen. Patrick Mahomes is going to find a way.
Doug, your eyes lit up at the Daniel Jones call.
I was tempted to pick this game and go opposite Milt because I had to try to close the gap, so it'd be fun to just go opposite.
Right.
A two-game switch. And I believe in the Colts, but for the reasons that Milt said, with their back to the wall and playoffs on the line, I don't trust Mahomes. So they're going to get after it. And it was a game I decided to stay away from because of that. But I believe the Colts are for real.
Okay. Doug, you believed in the Jaguars all season, and just when Jacksonville was left for dead, they stomped the Chargers by 4 touchdowns. You know, sometimes you look at the box score and you're like, how did this happen? Trevor Lawrence threw for 153 yards and 1 score, but the Jags put up 35. And Doug, you like this thing to continue. You like Jacksonville to cover 2.5 in Arizona this week.
Yeah. Arizona's struggling, and Jacksonville is a tough, gritty team. The one thing that bothers me about Jacksonville is they're not a big play team. Like they're getting 5-6 yards. They got to put these 12, 13 play drives together in order to get the ball in the end zone. That's the hard part. But I do like them against Arizona. They're even going back to the beginning of the year. I just thought they played good, solid defense and grinded out on offense and found a way. And I really think they're a tough, gritty team, and that Arizona is not playing well right now. Like I go back to what I said last week. Sometimes you pick against the team rather than for a team.
But I tell you, and the Cardinals aren't, but Jacoby Brissett
Brissett, yes.
NFL record 47 completions in the game against San Francisco last week. They were running Flutie all over the place.
Did you see the score, though? Like, that amazing. Like, I thought Arizona got blown out, right? I didn't really get to watch that game. And then I look at the line. He's throwing for 9,000 yards. He's got 750 completions. And I'm like, what the heck? And I said it last week. I didn't think Jacoby Brissett was an explosive quarterback. I think he's more, he's a veteran guy now that maybe, control the ball a little bit and all that. But the throw for that many, that was impressive. But
and this one was without Marvin Harrison Jr. Am I correct? He didn't even play in the game.
Yeah. So I was, he's actually he had a rough game, I think 2 weeks ago, but 2 out of his last 3 games have been pretty impressive.
Yeah.
I tell people all the time, fantasy football isn't real football, but shout out to Brissett for the record in that loss to San Francisco. Those Niners, by the way, Doug, on Monday night are favored by a touchdown at home against Carolina. And don't look now, San Fran is 7-4. They're getting healthier. And Doug, you like the Niners to keep this thing going over Carolina.
Yeah, Brock Purdy coming back. They're playing good football now. Carolina's not playing bad football. Yeah, but it's more this one I'm picking San Francisco because they're kind of on a roll, and it's an upbeat for him. Purdy coming back. I just think they're playing really. I mean, they crushed someone last week too. And And even if Brock's not 100% ready, if he starts struggling, you still got Mac Jones who's been playing well. So I'm with San Francisco this week. I like the Monday night thing. It keeps me alive in the thing.
Later on in the week.
I can't lose 3 games on Sunday. I still got a game to go. I still have hope.
Spoken as a true old school gambler right there, Flutie. It's Flutie versus Stegall. We're powered by BODOG. We're going through the picks.
I double down on the Monday night if I lose both games on. No. Okay.
No. Doug is getting into it. Double down. I hear you.
There's the competitor in him. Milt, I've been wondering where the competitor is in Justin Fields. It's been a disaster in New York for him. It didn't work out in Chicago. It hasn't with the Jets. He's being benched for Tyrod Taylor. And the Jets are 13.5-point dogs against Baltimore. Milt, you like the Ravens to win, but even you're saying 13.5 is a little too much.
Well, first of all, about the Justin Fields thing, like I say, Ohio State quarterbacks have never done well in the NFL. I know C.J. Stroud had like a good year and a half, but we see he's struggling, he's hurt, and that's another subject. But yes, I like the Ravens over the Jets, but what do you say, a 13.5-point favorite? I'm not going there. And I know since getting Lamar back, even the game before he came back, they've on a 4-game winning streak, but Lamar is still getting the rust off. He hadn't been lighting it up. He's had some okay games, but he hadn't had great games. And I know the Jets are bad. I think Tyrod Taylor is better than Justin Fields right now. So they'll lose the game, but they won't lose by more than 13.5 points. I don't see that happen against the Baltimore Ravens right now because they're a good team, but they're not an elite team. And they'll win their conference, but winning this game by more than 13.5 points, it won't happen. They'll win it, but not by that much.
All right, last pick of the week. Both of you like New England. They have a little bit of a longer week after coming off the Thursday nighter. They're 8-point favorites against Cincinnati. The Bengals, of course, without Jamar Chase, who's suspended. Let's get to Jamar in a sec, but I want to focus on the Patriots here, guys. Like, you talk to longtime New England fans especially from the heyday, and they tell you the last 2-3 years that they'd almost forgotten about what's happening over there in Foxborough. They couldn't tell you a lot of the players. And now Drake May has arrived, and it is almost as if there's a renaissance, a revival up there in New England. The fact that they're 8-point favorites right now, the fact that they have the best record in the NFL right now, I mean, all of this is happening so fast with Mike Vrabel. Both of you like the Pats by at least 8, and I'll open the floor. Why from each of your perspectives? Why don't we start with Coach Flutie down there beside the chalkboard?
A lot of things that you just said. They're playing great football there. Believing Drake May is a guy that can he's athletic enough to still make plays on his own, but it's been a very efficient offense, running the football and Mike Vrabel has been the difference this year. Mike Vrabel coming in at just a change of attitude. He is one of the guys. He'll put the pads on and hit with the guys in preseason. Like he's a player's coach kind of guy, but he's like every I is dotted, every T is crossed, I went into a little dissertation a few weeks back about how he challenged the call, but challenged the second part of the call to run out the clock. He does those little things, and they are playing really good football. They're tough to stop on offense, and defense is they're gritty. There's no missed assignments. The penalties are starting to come down. They had a lot of penalties early in the year, but the penalties are coming down. It's a fun team to watch right now.
They're favored by 8. If they were favored by 80 versus my Bengals, I would still take them. I want to focus on the Bengals. Yes, the Patriots are killing it. Drake May, as I've been saying all year, Josh McDaniels, I think, is a big reason. That's the coach he deals with the most. But the Bengals are just in disarray. Now you're missing your best 2 players. Joe Burrow and now Jamar Chase aren't going to be on the field. If this game was within 20 points, the Bengals should celebrate. There's just so much going on in that organization right now. I mean, I'm hoping Zach Taylor is still around, but he's probably saying, just fire me. Just let me out of this right here because I'll go coach at Miami of Ohio or UC or Cincinnati State or somewhere before I deal with this mess that's going on.
All he's got to do is go spit on someone, and then he can start getting them out.
Oh, man. Let's get to that in just a moment. Let's wrap up the picks. Milt likes KC to cover 3 against Indy. The Ravens to win, but the Jets to cover 13.5. Both Doug and Milt like the Pats to cover over the Bengals. Doug also likes the Jags minus 2.5 over Arizona. And for San Francisco to cover 7 against the Carolina Panthers. It's Flutie versus Stegall. We're powered by BODOG. So they say the most disrespectful thing you can do on the football field is spit on another man. Jamar Chase, Jalen Ramsey, Spitgate, punch, suspension, Doug Flutie, Milt Stegall, go.
They just grew up different from me. It never entered my mind. Besides never entered my mind to drop a football before crossing the goal line, it definitely never entered my mind to spit on somebody. I'm too busy. I mean, I've been angry. I've been mad. I took a bad 50-yard penalty against Edmonton once, and I knew exactly what I was doing because I was so pissed off and I didn't like this one player, and the game was pretty much over. But I never thought of spitting on someone. It's just, I don't get it. There's a lot of things I don't get. And yeah, I'm old and I'm set in my ways, but it's too hard to win at football to do stupid stuff on the football field. The only other time I remember Bill Romanowski, a video of him standing over a place.
Yeah.
And I cannot relate. I can't even understand the mentality.
And I'm not a violent person. I don't condone violence, but that right there, that opens the door for whatever you need to do to get back at the person. If it's after the game, if you need to go to his house, because that's the most disgusting thing ever. There's a lot of things you can do to a human, and I thought maybe punching them in the family jewels or kicking them in the family jewels on purpose, but spitting on an individual, that's pretty bad. And I know he just got a 1-game suspension. I know Jalen Carter did it early, but there's something else that need to happen to these individuals right there because that act of that act right there is disgusting. That's the worst thing you can do right there.
Total disrespect.
It's going to cost Chase around $500,000 for the game check and the fine.
Okay,
here's what I found.
Stop right there. Stop right there. Think, and I'm not going to ask you that, but think about your biggest season pay, Milt.
What?
Right? 500. He just spit on a guy for $500,000. Are you an idiot?
Man, that's an expensive spit right there, baby.
I track all day with that.
Here's what I find bizarre about the whole thing. We now live in a world where there's cameras everywhere. And Jamar afterwards says, I didn't do it. And there's 1,000 cameras that show me.
Wasn't me. Didn't do it. Wasn't me.
And then he's going to appeal it. Like, are you serious? Why are you appealing? Just own up to it, Jamar. Just come out and say, I lied, I was wrong. And we'll respect you more because now you're losing all the respect now. Just own up to it.
I just shook my head and the sweat went off my eyebrow and went into his. I don't know.
Bengals, 3.5 years ago, they're in the Super Bowl. It feels like 3.5 lifetimes ago with the way things are going in Cincinnati. All right, let's move on. It feels, I don't know what to make of the Buffalo Bills. Just like when it seemed like they were kind of teetering on the brink of despair, you look up at their record and you're like, wait a minute, they're 7-3. They just beat a really good Bucs team. Josh throws for 317, 3 touchdowns. Buffalo scores 44. But like there's so many buts all around this franchise right now. Doug, they're your team, but Milt, I want to start with you on this point because you were saying maybe they're relying on Josh Allen too much.
Yep. And I put it on par with what happened to Cam Newton. Remember early on in his career, Cam Newton is just running all over the place, putting the team on his back, and he eventually led him to a Grey Cup, but they didn't. I mean, to a Super Bowl. Sorry about that, but they didn't. I'm just coming off the Grey Cup. Sorry, but they didn't get it done. And then after that, it was downhill. It was just taking too much of a pounding. And I see that happening with Josh Allen. Stature-wise, they're about the same, about 6'3", 6'4", 245 pounds. And it's just too much. I mean, 3 touchdowns rushing, 3 touchdowns passing. that all looks good. There's only been 3 times where that happened, and he's done it twice, but there's just too much. They need to get someone in there to take some of that off of him because, Doug, you know this. You were a running quarterback, but you weren't taking any hits. You were going down, getting out of bounds. Josh Allen is looking for those hits. He's looking for that contact, and I just don't see that, on the long haul. That's not a good way to play football because you're not going to last long. And if you are going to last long, you're not going to be productive.
First of all, like as my buddy Chris Berman would say, no one circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills, right? So they come up a loss and they come out flooding and score points. I agree with Milt in the respect that they're using Josh in goal line situation as a runner, called quarterback runs in short yardage, called quarterback runs in goal line situation, not to mention the scrambles and the runs off of that. The other part of it that worries me, I mean, it was an amazing offensive show, right? He put on a show. He made big plays all over the place. I don't know, 6 total touchdowns. Not a lot is happening in rhythm. Not a lot is happening by design. It's Josh hanging onto the ball for an extra second or two, stepping up, moving out, hitting somebody on the move. The actual timing and the, hitting a pure slant route or a seam post or a guy up the seam or, the timing route stuff isn't really the majority of the completions. The majority of the completions are moving, holding the ball, and finding a guy. That just worries me a little bit with the team that's going to be able to contain him.
And you just wonder why Buffalo wouldn't have gone out at the deadline and gotten somebody. Jalen Waddle, reportedly there was interest from Brandon Beane to go get him. It's an offense that's riddled with 2s and 3s, more 3s than 2s. Okay, I get you have a couple of tight ends as an option. Dalton Kincaid was down last week. This is the prime of Josh Allen's career.
Yes.
Give him weapons.
Yes.
Give him something to work with, especially in the red zone. Like you talk about Josh running it. I'm saying, didn't you just give James Cook all that money in the offseason to be your red zone guy?
Yeah, well, you got to find him. The thing about a quarterback running the ball is you can block everybody and get a hat on a hat. You've got an extra blocker, and it is an advantage in situations. But you don't want your star quarterback running the ball in red zone all the time. And you need Cooks look good. They had a good running game at times. They really had. The inconsistency baffles me. I know defensively they scared the heck out of me for a long part, but offensively, you're leaning on Josh to do all that, and you have a good, solid running back. Find a way to get the ball to him in space.
Well, real quick, congratulations to Josh. He just tied Cam Newton for most rushing touchdowns by a quarterback at 75, but I don't know if that's a record I want my quarterback to have. I don't know about that. Yeah.
Josh was hoping to have Keon Coleman on Sunday. Didn't. Coleman was down this week because he was late for a meeting. Then over there in New York, Abdul Carter reportedly slept through a walkthrough, was benched for a series. Don't forget, earlier this year, Jordan Addison of my Vikings missed a meeting. He was shut down for the first quarter. I don't want to be old man yelling at the cloud, but kids these days, man, what are these guys doing?
Are you kidding me? I mean, you're in the NFL. This is the dream. You've worked your whole life talking about it as a kid. You signed the big contract. A lot of people, jobs are at stake and millions of dollars at stake. And you're sleeping in and you're missing meetings and it just baffles me. I was too afraid. I was too afraid of the repercussions of even being 30 seconds late. I had Tom Coughlin as a coach in college. So, I mean, I was there 20 minutes before the meeting, ready and nervous. Yeah. So I don't get it. I can't relate to it. The only excuse would be if you had the time wrong, if somebody told you and
daylight savings time,
something, sleeping in, missing meetings, not a chance. Sleep in the meeting room. Take a nap in the meeting room so you're there when it starts.
The thing about Coleman, if Coleman was playing well, they would have played him. They didn't care about, because those other two guys are actually productive. So they said, we're going to sit you down a quarter or we're going to sit you down because they need those guys. They don't need Coleman. And as far as being late, you shouldn't be late, but I've dealt with guys who were late, but they were the upper echelon guys. So they got a slap on the wrist. And I always go back to the story that Bill Belichick told about Lawrence Taylor. When he went to Bill Parcells, Belichick said, Lawrence Taylor is late to all our meetings. What should I do? You know what Bill Parcells said? Well, you start the meeting when Lawrence Taylor gets there. That's what you do with that. So I've been involved with guys who were late, but they were the great players on the team, so they would get a slap on the wrist. In my position, I don't know about you, Doug. In our position, I was there a day early. There's no way I could be late. There was no way.
Right? We're worried about our job.
Yes.
Maybe when I was in Canada and lighted it up, I felt like I could, I was probably having a conversation with one of the coaches is why I walked in 30 seconds late.
Right.
Man, in the NFL, I was so worried about my job. I was there early, waiting, pen in hand, notebook open, feet flat on the floor. I don't know. It's a journey.
You think if Josh Allen is late to a meeting, they're going to sit him down? No, they're not even going to let anybody know.
Josh wouldn't be late for a meeting. And
I know he wouldn't, but if he was,
it was because he was lecturing some coaches on something.
Right. But if Josh was late, the media wouldn't even know, believe me.
Josh was actually late for a meeting yesterday. He was too busy lobbying for the Flutie play to be installed into the Bills' offensive game plan.
But they got to sign 85 to do it. They got to sign 85 for one play, Milt.
That's it. That's all I got in me. One play. That's all I need.
I always say I got one drive or one hit, whichever comes first. Don't hit me. Flag.
Don't hit me. It's Flutie versus Stegall. We're powered by BODOG. The guys make their picks every week. Milt is 20-10 on the season. Here comes Doug Flutie. He's 17-13. To wrap up the picks for the week, Milt likes KC to cover by 3 at home against Indianapolis. A gotta-get-it game for Patrick Mahomes and company. He likes the Jets plus 13.5 with Tyrod Taylor starting. Both the guys like New England to cover 8 against Cincinnati. Doug also likes Jacksonville over Arizona by 2.5, and for San Fran to cover the touchdown. Our picks, as always, are powered by BODOG. Okay, we began.
Hey, shout out to Trevor Harris up at the Grey Cup, having a great team and winning the Grey Cup versus Stegall.
Awesome. Before we go, Flutie, this is the play. You diagnosed it, designed it earlier. Tell me the quarterback today in the NFL who can execute Flutie the best. Who's gonna run that play the best right now?
Well, I love Josh. I'm going with Josh, but I'm trying to think of another one. It's the veteran guys, big arm guy. I'm going
Stafford.
Josh, if he has to post, the guy you got to worry about. See this in right on the backside? You get your quarters look here, the post splits it, but the safety jumps the corner out. This backside corner starts to chase the end and runs to the post. That's the guy you got to worry about. The backside, so you can't just flatten them across the field like we like to do. To make sure, you got to throw that high angle to make sure that backside corner doesn't get involved.
Well, I know if this is the end of the game, you know what quarterback I'm taking? Bo Nix. That's who I'm taking it to the end of the game, baby.
There you go.
I would take him over Patrick Mahomes right now if it was the end of the game. Did I just say that out loud? I can't believe it.
I tell you what, I didn't see a lot of Bo Nix through college or what he's been doing. And then the last handful of weeks I've been watching him. I love Bo.
Huge win for Denver, home to Kansas City last week. Hey, you come to Flutie versus Stegall for picks. You come to Flutie versus Stegall for stories, for analysis, for opinion, and now play breakdown too. Thanks to
we're gonna have to throw one up every week now, aren't we?
Oh my!
I like it. That's Milt Stegall. That's Doug Flutie. I'm Arash Madani. Thanks to all of you for making Flutie versus Stegall one of North America's fastest growing football podcasts.